Hi, this is Stefanie. Today I want to discuss the question if Yin Yoga can help with sleeping issues. For example, if you have trouble falling asleep at night or if you cannot sleep through the night, can Yin Yoga help? From my experience, I can say yes, it can definitely help. And why is that? We differentiate between Yin and Yang with everything we have. And when we take the day with sunlight, for example, these are yang energies. And when the day is smoothly going over to the night, then the yin energies are prevalent. And that is the moon or the darkness. And that is what we need for a good night's sleep, the yin energies. And if you practice a Yin Yoga sequence right before you go to bed or a few hours before you go to bed, you're going smoothly into the yin energies you need for a good night's sleep. And if you practice just a few poses, it doesn't have to be like a 1.5 hour sequence, you're already giving your body and your mind the yin energies you need for the night. And what I always do when I go to, before I go to bed, I always go onto my yoga mat and I do a little yin sequence, and I choose intuitively. I go onto my mat and just listen to my body. What does my body need right now? And it doesn't have to be the same things or the same poses as in a yang sequence. When we consider Yang Yoga, they often say that back bends are energizing and forward bends are calming, and it doesn't have to be the same in Yin Yoga. Myself, for example, I love to practice reclined butterfly before I go to sleep, and that is actually a back bend. But for me, it's not energizing at all. It has a very calming effect on me. I suppose it's because of the quality of the breath. I'm opening up my lungs and the breath can deepen, and that has a very positive effect on the nervous system. The nervous system can calm down. If you just think about what we experience throughout the day, oftentimes we have like a sensory overload, the mind is overstimulated, and Yin Yoga is an awesome opportunity to calm down the mind. And also the body can calm down again. Oftentimes we experience stress throughout the day, which is also manifesting in the body. And when you do your Yin Yoga sequence, you can release that kind of stress. Oftentimes people are clenching their teeth at night, for example, because they want to get rid of the stress they experience throughout the day. So I can only recommend you try a short Yin Yoga sequence before you go to bed. Either you do it intuitively, look what your body has to say or what it wants to do, or I can also show you a little sequence with movements in all directions. That is a side bend and a back bend, a forward bend and a twist. And I can show you some poses which you can do as a whole sequence. It doesn't have to be very long. We will be holding the poses 3 minutes, and it will take about 30 minutes. If that is too long for you, you can just shorten it. Or if you feel that 3 minutes are too much for you, maybe you're a beginner and it's too intensive, you can just shorten it anytime. On the other hand, if you want to intensify it, you can just pause and hold the poses a little bit longer if you like. So let's get started. Okay, let's go. We'll do a little sequence to rewind at the end of the day, but you can also do this sequence at any other time of the day. It's helpful to have some props at hand. I need a bolster for this sequence and a yoga block. You can also use blankets or pillows, and if you don't feel comfortable in a pose, just use more of the props so you can really relax and ease into the poses at any time. We'll start with a side bend. I call it lying banana. And you should position yourself in front of the bolster with the left side of your pelvis. When I do side bends, I always like to start stretching the right side first for different reasons. First of all, because we have our liver here on the right side, and in traditional Chinese medicine we say that the liver is the general of the organs, and that's why I always like to give the liver a lot of energy. That's also what a lot of acupuncturists do. And on the other hand, we have the ascending colon here, and that is the direction we want to bring the energy into. First on the right side, then the transversal colon, and then the ascending colon. So you sit in front of the bolster with the left side of your pelvis. Your knees are slightly bent, or you take a right angle between the legs if you want to have a little bit opening in your hips already. And then you put your fingers on the ground and stretch your spine. And then you come over your bolster. And then you position your head on your arm. You can put it straight ahead or bend the arm, whatever is more comfortable for you. And then you can take the right arm and put it over your head. If you can, then you bring the hand to the floor. If that is difficult for you, you can just use a block, for example, under the hand, or a pillow, so you can really relax your arm here. And then you really ease into the pose. Try not to activate your muscles here, but stay passive. And you can also experiment a little bit here and just see how does it feel when you lie over the bolster like this. Or maybe you want to go forward a little bit more, or a little bit more to the back. That makes a difference when you stretch and you're in your stretch. And you just stay where it feels best for you. And then you just let your breath flow in and out, just naturally. And you watch your breath. Personally, I love to practice in stillness because the connection to myself is deeper than when I listen to music while I'm practicing. But of course it's up to you. If you want to listen to some music while you practice, then just pick some slow, calming music, but it shouldn't catch too much of your attention, but it should rather be a slow, calming music in the background. And when you totally ease into the pose, then also feel into the right side of your body, which you're stretching right now, and also into the left side of your body, which you're compressing right now. How exactly does that feel? Where exactly do you feel the stretch in your body? Where exactly do you feel the compression in your body? Now you slowly come out of the pose. You put your right arm back against your body, back next to your body. Come up again slowly. And then you can just simply switch sides, turn around. I'm just going onto the other side of the bolster because of the camera. So now your right side of your pelvis will be here in front of the bolster. The knees are either slightly bent, or you take a right ankle here with your legs. You put your fingers on the ground and press up to lengthen your spine. And then you bend over the bolster. Position your arm, your head on your arm. And then you take your left arm, stretch it out, and see if you can touch the floor with your left hand, or if you need a prop underneath your hand. And then you let go. Try to ease into the pose. And see if this stretch is right for you, or if you want to go a little bit more forward or a little bit more to the back. Just stay where you feel it is best for you. Where's your happy place when you're relaxing into the pose? Let your breath flow in and out just naturally. And feel free to close your eyes anytime. For a lot of people, it's easier to feel into the body when they close their eyes. And also here, feel the difference on both sides of the body. How does the left side of your body feel now, the one you're stretching now? And how does the right side of your body feel, the side you're compressing now? Is it comparable to the first side? Or do you feel any differences? And if you do feel any differences, what exactly is that? Try to relax more and more into your pose. You're having an effect on the gallbladder meridian here, and also a little bit on the bladder meridian and the lung, heart, and large intestine, small intestine here in the arms, depending on how you position your arm. Now slowly come out of the pose again. Lift yourself up slowly. Put the bolster aside and then lie down for a moment to feel the effect of the pose. Relax onto the floor and feel the energy in your body after releasing the Yin Yoga pose. And then come back up again. Either you pull your knees to your chest and roll up, or you come to the side and get up again. And we come into reclining butterfly. You need the bolster again. And also a yoga block for your head. You can put the block either this way or that way. Just see what's more comfortable for your spine. And then you sit down in butterfly. So you bring the soles of your feet together and the knees go to the sides, just comfortably. If that is hard to do for you, you can put some blocks underneath your knees or some pillows so you can relax into the pose more deeply. And then you go back to the bolster, and then you position your head on the block, and you put your arms next to your head or a little bit more to the side so you can feel a nice stretch in your chest and in your shoulders. For women, especially during menstruation, it can also be very comforting to put the hands on your belly, which is also very nice if you're pregnant. Or some people also like to position the hands on the insides of the thighs. Just see what's the best option for you. And then relax into the pose. Close your eyes if you wish. And let your breath flow in and out just naturally. And also watch your breath here. Your lungs are open now, which probably has an effect on your breath. Maybe it is deeper now, or calmer. Just watch without judging. Let go of all tension in your body. Relax more and more into this pose. In reclined butterfly, you have an effect on the meridians of the liver and kidneys, and also on the stomach and the spleen. And if you have your arms overhead, then also on the meridians of the lung, heart, and pericardium. Now slowly come out of the pose again. Take your arms next to your body again if they were stretched overhead. And then activate your pelvic floor, close the knees, and push up again. Put your props aside so you can lie down again to feel the effect of the pose. Stretch out the legs. Come down to the floor. Close your eyes. And feel the energy, the chi flow in your body. And then you can come back up again for the next pose, which is a forward bend, and that is caterpillar. For a caterpillar, you stretch out the legs. The feet don't have to be closed. You can also open them a little bit, just see what's comfortable for you. You can also use the bolster if you want. If you put the bolster on your legs and then bend over it, you get a nice rounding here in the lower back, and that is also a part of your fascia, which also gets a lot of stress. Oftentimes, a lot of people have back pain in that area, and it's important to round it again, to relax the fascia again. And if you're very flexible, you can oftentimes come down to your legs and don't even feel that stretch in the lower back so much anymore. And if that is the case for you, it's helpful to take the bolster and really relax into the pose here, so you get a nice round back. What is very important here is that you please don't pull yourself into the pose. Just give yourself the time to relax, your body the time to open up more and more. And fascia needs time to react. And if you stay 3 minutes in the pose, your fascia will also open up more and more. If this here is uncomfortable for your head, you can also put a prop underneath your head or rest the head on the bolster. For some people, it is also nice to move the head around a little bit, to look from side to side or look up and down. And then just ease into the forward bend again. You're stretching the back side of your body now, and that is where the bladder meridian runs through. So now you have a very intensive effect on the bladder meridian. And also now watch your breath. Is there any difference in your breath when you do forward bend compared to the back bend before or the side bend? Just watch, don't judge. Relax more and more into the pose. With every breath, a little bit more. If you feel this is getting too much for you at any time, you can just release earlier. Now come slowly, slowly out of the pose. If you used a bolster, put it aside and slowly come back to your mat. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the effect of the pose. You can just stay here on your back for our last pose, which is a twist. And it is either twisted roots or windshield wiper, which is very similar to twisted roots, but a little bit different in the stretching. So if you want to do twisted roots, you pull your knees to your chest, and then you bring your knees to the left side of your body. You stretch your arms overhead or a little bit more to the side. And if that is too much for you, you can just use a bolster and put the bolster in between your legs or under your legs, which is also super important for pregnant women which shouldn't stretch or twist the stomach. Or if you want to intensify it, you can just put your left hand on the right knee and look to the other side. If that is too much for your cervical spine, just leave your head in the middle or on the left side. Another variation, which is windshield wiper, is if you leave your feet opened, hip wide, and then you let them fall to the side. Either you stay like this, or if you want to intensify it, you take your foot, the left foot, which is closer to the floor, and position it on top of the knee. And now the right knee can go a little bit deeper to the ground, and that intensifies the stretch in the right side of your body. Just see which one's more comfortable for you. Both poses are twists, and then ease into the twist. It's a very nourishing pose for your body all over, but especially for the spine. A lot of people love these poses in a Yin Yoga sequence. And also here, watch both sides of your body again. What does the right side of your body feel like? And what does the left side of your body feel like? This is just to get to know your body even better with all the little differences we have in our bodies. Also here, watch your breath. What happens with your breath when you are in a twisted pose? And also be mindful if you feel any differences in your body over the time you're holding the pose. How does it feel in the beginning? How does it feel after 1.5 or 2 minutes? How does it feel in the last minute? Slowly come out of the pose again. Bring your knees back into the middle, into the center of your body. Pull them to your chest, lift up your head, and then you rock a little bit from side to side and push the lower back into the ground. Give yourself a little massage here. And then you put the feet back on the ground and we switch sides. Either you take twisted roots, you pull your knees to your chest, and then you bring your knees to the right side on the ground. You take your arms overhead or a little bit more to the side. Remember the different variations. If this is too much for you, use the bolster, put it in between your legs or under the lower leg. If you want to intensify it, then put your right hand on top of the left knee. And then you look into the opposite direction. For some people this is a little bit too much stress on the cervical spine, and you can just put the head back into the center of your body or look to the right side. If you rather want to do windshield wiper, you put your feet on the ground, the knees are hip width apart, and then you let them fall to the right side. You can either stay here, or if you want to intensify it, then take your right foot and put it on the left knee so the knee can go a little bit deeper, so the stretch on the side of your body can get a little bit more intense. Always find your happy place in the poses so you can really relax.
And you can let go of all unnecessary tension. Here you're targeting the meridians of the gallbladder and the bladder. Also a small part of the liver, kidney, stomach and spleen meridian. And in the arms, the lung, heart and pericardium, if you have them overhead. And also here bring your attention to both sides of the body. How does the left side of the body feel in this pose? How does the right side of your body feel in this pose? Also bring your attention to your breath and observe how your breath flows in and out in this twisted pose. Totally relax. And now you bring your knees back to the center. Slowly pull them toward your chest and lift your head. And then you rock from side to side. And then you relax back onto the ground for the final relaxation, Shavasana. For the final relaxation pose, you stay on the ground completely relaxed. If you want to, you can cover up with a blanket, or maybe you want to put a little pillow under your head. And then lie down completely comfortable and relaxed. Close your eyes. Let your body, your breath, and your mind become more and more quiet. And now observe yourself. Observe the flow of energy, the chi in your body, in your breath, and in your mind. Watch what effect the sequence had on you. Let go of all possible tension. Bring your attention to your whole body, from head to toe. Be totally aware of your whole body. Be totally aware of your breath. And also be totally aware of your mind or of possible thoughts which might come and go. If you want to stay longer in Shavasana, feel free to stay as long as you want. And maybe you also want to add a little meditation to end up this sequence. Otherwise, if you want to finish it now, start to move your hands and your feet again. And put your arms overhead one more time and stretch all the way. And now come to the left side of your body. Stay here for a couple more breaths. And slowly, slowly push up again into a sitting position. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. If you want to see more sequences or get to know more about Yin Yoga, then subscribe to my channel here on YouTube or check out my website yinyoga.de. Happy to see you again. Take care. Bye bye. Stefanie.